So this is the goal, and this is where we're at. It is currently Saturday. It's around 5 something. This dress needs to be done in a week, which is fun. And as of right now, all I have is the paper pattern. That's okay, you can see how it's starting to take form. This one does require a mock-up because of the whole 8-month pregnant thing. And because of the 8-month pregnant thing, this dress does not have a front. Right now, my plan is to take a large piece of fabric that's about the length that I'll need and a bit longer, and just get it around the top, stick it to the top of the bodice, and call it a day. Okay, so it's time to make the mock-up. I think I'm just going to cut and sew this off camera because I will be showing you the completed gown, so there's really no point for me to show you the same thing twice. This is going to take up so much fabric. How do we compare? So I have my first mock-up done. As you can see, I left out the belly portion because I wanted to make sure this bust placement was right, which it currently is not. But I anticipated that. I purposely made it long so I'd be able to cut it back and get it to the right spot. I'm fairly happy with the fit of the bust. Back, however, is a little bit gigantic. So I'm going to be working on getting that a little bit more to what I want. All in all, I am happy for the first fitting, but I do need to make adjustments before I move forward. So let's see. Well, that feels better already. I think I'm going to pop this on my dress form in order to fit the back because I am more flexible than usual, weirdly, but I still don't think I'm flexible enough to deal with that seam comfortably. So back on the dress form, and we'll go from there. So it turns out the best solution for the back was just to take it in at the zipper. I'm glad because now I don't really have to play with any of the curves or worry about the armhole or anything like that. Everything's gonna be nice and simple. So I'll just take a little bit off the back of the pattern and that should be good to go. You can see I cheated a little bit down here. I did not make the pattern the full length because I wasn't too concerned about the skirt. I was way more concerned about the fit at the top. So I saved myself some scrap fabric there. I also popped the front panel on. I actually felt a little nostalgic using this fabric because it's from my first video diary. I think that was 2 years ago now. So it's kind of fun being able to see this again. And since it's just one panel, I should be able to take this off and still more or less be able to use it again in the future, which is kind of fun. I also changed the neckline here. I really want to be able to use these lace appliques, so hopefully changing the neckline will help that blend in a little bit more. Alright, I guess it's time to start on the actual dress. Okay, let's talk fabric real fast. For the base of the dress, I have this truly bonkers looking fabric. See, it's very shiny, very sparkly, and depending on the direction, you can see it kind of changes color, which is a lot of fun. So I'm gonna have that for the base, and then I have this chiffon, which is pretty close in color to the applique. Not sure if it's reading the same way on the camera right now as it is in person, but it's fairly close. All right, I better get working on this. First, I made the entire lining. Since the fabric I was using for the lining was a knit, I used my serger instead of my sewing machine for assembly. Stitching together the panels while finishing the edges definitely helped speed up the process. Once I had the length of the front skirt panel measured and cut out, I ran 2 rows of gathering stitches along the top of the panel. Now this is one of my favorite sewing hacks. Whenever I need to gather a long piece of fabric to a shorter piece, I like to mark the center and quarter points on both pieces with colored pins. Once I match the pins to each section, I can gather the fabric evenly between the pins. It really saves me a lot of frustration since it also prevents the gathers from moving around too much. I ran the front panel through my serger and attached it to the side panels, and the lining was good to go. Okay, update time. So far I have the lining done, for the most part. It still needs some finishing, but that can wait. It's assembled, and that's what matters. I really meant to get a lot of work done yesterday, but I got hit with such a wave of fatigue that I got absolutely nothing done. which is not ideal because my photo shoot is on Sunday and it is now Thursday. So the goal is to really double down tonight and get the top layer of this dress done. Now I don't think it's going to be completely finished and trimmed out with the sleeves and everything. I think that might just be wishing for a little too much, but as long as I get this top layer done, the rest can be done tomorrow and Saturday, and that's okay. All right, let's get working. The top layer of the gown was made of chiffon, which isn't my favorite fabric to work with since it likes to move around a bit. Normally, I would have used my rotary cutter to cut it out, but my pregnancy brain opted for scissors instead. Pregnancy brain is real, and it leads to questionable decision making. So I'm working on the chiffon layer, and it's been a little bit of trial and error. This side I ran for my serger, and I was not super happy with the results. The stitching is fine, but as you can see, it made little puckers along the fabric, which I am not a fan of. So I ended up going with plan B. So this is a French seam, and I think this ended up looking a lot better than the other side. So I think that's what I'm going to be going with, which will take a bit longer, but that's okay because I think the results kind of speak for themselves. Luckily I have plenty of fabric, so I'm just going to recut these pattern pieces and make the real thing. Now that I had a plan, I recut the bodice pieces and sewed them together using French seams. French seams enclose the raw edge of the fabric neatly so there isn't a risk of fraying. One of these days I'll make a French seam tutorial, but today is not that day. Once the front and sides of the bodice were sewn together, I attached it to the front skirt panel, which, like the lining, was gathered up to fit the front of the bodice. I trimmed the seam allowance and accidentally cut into the bodice because, of course I did. I finished the underbust seam a little less neatly than the others, but that's okay. No one will see it. Okay, so I did get the chiffon layer done. It was all French seams, which took a while, but that's okay because it's mostly done. All that's left is the center back seam and the hem. That's okay, I don't mind doing that last. The reason I'm leaving the center back seam open is because I want to add trim, and I think it'll be easier if the dress isn't essentially one big tube. I think the best plan of attack right now is to work on the cape tomorrow, because trim, there's no set in stone plan as long as I use those lace appliques. Though I think I want to add more things in that, but we'll see. But I think the cape will do a lot of the work for me, if that makes sense. So if I have the cape done, then it doesn't matter if the dress doesn't have a crazy amount of trim on it, because the cape will be drawing a lot of attention. Unfortunately, this video is getting a little long, so the cape is its own separate video, and that's linked in my description, and is also going to be on my end screen at the end of this video. For now, I think I need to go to bed because I'm going to be up early tomorrow to watch WandaVision, because priorities. Alright, bedtime, and then cape tomorrow. So I have mail. So I have been very neglectful of my P.O. box, clearly. Or not. I think a lot of this came fairly recently. Anyway, I thought I'd open this up on camera because these are all from viewers, and I thought they'd like to see how I react to their gifts. Aww. So this is a print from Elaine from our maternity photo shoot, which is the video I'm editing right now. So if I put this in that video, you guys just got a sneak preview of the end. So I am clearly no longer pregnant. I did have the baby about a month ago, which you probably already know from my other videos. Oh, thank you, Elaine. It's a lovely letter. If anyone happens to be in the southeastern Pennsylvania area, I would highly recommend Elaine as a photographer. She was very sweet to work with, and we got some really great shots, and I'm really happy with the photo shoot. Also, be sure to look her up on social media because she does some really great work. Alright. Oh, I know what this is. So this is from my viewer Stacy, who was the mystery sender of the Victorian Dressmaker book last year. And she was kind enough to send me volume 2. Oh, this is beautiful. I didn't think I'd get this one, so I'm really excited. Oh, so pretty. It's funny, I was following along on Instagram when Isabella made all these. So to see them all in the book, oh, it's just so special. Thank you, Stacy. I'm gonna put it on my shelf right now. Right next to volume 1. Oh, look at this. Oh, there's a little card here. Is this not the cutest little card you've ever seen? Oh, it's adorable. Look how sweet that is. It says, Melissa, congratulations, with love, your friend Barbara. Barbara has been a really great supporter of my channel for over a year now. I'm not exactly sure how long, but she always likes to send me a nice little card for holidays, and I really appreciate it. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, she got me baby clothes. Oh, and there's an elephant on it. That is so sweet. My baby shower was actually elephant themed, and we have a lot of elephant stuff now because of that. So that fits in perfectly. Oh, this is cute too. Everything is 6 to 9 months, which is good because he was a big boy. He's only a month old. He's already in 3-month-old clothes. Oh, and look how sweet this one is. Oh, that's so nice. And I love that everything is a nice pretty light blue. The baby agrees. We got a lot of very cute newborn clothes, but for some reason most of our 3-month-old clothes were all gray. I don't know why, but they're adorable. They're just monochromatic. Oh, more. Oh, look at the hat. I actually think this might fit on his big case head. Oh, more elephant stuff. Oh, there's little elephants on the ankles. And look how cute that is. Thank you so much, Barbara, and thank you for how considerate the sizing was. I'm very excited for him to have clothes that will fit him. All right, let's see what this is. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's no note. Somebody got me a Bernie Sanders pocket. Oh my goodness, this makes me so happy. He looks so disgruntled, I love it. I tried to keep politics off my channel, but this is great. It's not politics, it's a meme, right? It's not the same thing. Oh my goodness, I can't describe how much I love this. Oh, whoever you are, thank you. This is... Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. All right, let's see what's in this one. All right, so this is from Christina. And she gave me this Sleepy Time baby gift set. This is gonna be lovely. I'm sure necessary at some point. I might use this for myself at some point, we'll see. But it has lotion, bubble bath, and shampoo. And then there's also shower steamers. Ooh, well, this is cool. It says 6 aromatherapy fizzies with natural essential oils for home spa relaxation. Ooh, that's nice. Especially because I'm still not allowed to take baths because of C-section, so this will be nice and relaxing. I'll be taking advantage of this later. And Christina's note says, congratulations, hopefully this will come in handy. I am so lucky. I'm so lucky to have viewers that care enough to send me things like this. And I'm just so grateful. So Stacy, Elaine, Christina, and Barbara, and my mystery pocket giver, thank you so much. I just love everything, so thank you. Back to sewing. The neckline is finished with facings, where the curves are clipped, pressed open, and then pressed to the inside. Alright, so slight change of plans. I ended up attaching the 2 layers a little bit earlier than I intended. I wanted to try and get a trim on first before I did that, but then I realized I needed to have the neckline finished, which is done with a facing. So I ended up just attaching all the layers and the facing together to make life a little bit easier. I also popped the zipper in. It's straining a little bit just because the dress form isn't quite the right size, and quite frankly, I don't think I'm the right size either anymore because I tried to dress on and it was a lot tighter than I expected, and I think it has to do with how quickly I'm growing. My belly is growing a centimeter a week, which is insane, but that means the measurements I took don't quite work anymore. Anyway, I think the plan right now will be to get the sleeves on because of this overlap here. I feel like it'd probably be better to have the sleeves on already rather than sew this on and then have to worry about it because it's just not gonna work. I think it's coming along pretty nicely though. I'm very happy with the color and the sparkles, and I think I'm really going to be happy with the appliques once they're on properly. But first, I gotta work on those sleeves. I have the sleeve pattern all pinned. For a little bit of extra fun, I decided to make the sleeves 2 layers instead of 1, which is what the pattern calls for. And even though chiffon is an incredibly finicky fabric, I did double up on the layers, so I will be cutting out all 4 sleeves at the same time. Because of the style of these sleeves, I don't think it's going to matter too much if my cuts are a little bit off or if one ends up being smaller than the other, because this sleeve is all one piece. It's not pieced together, so I don't have to worry about making anything match. And just the nature of it, if it's a little bit off, it's a little bit off, it's fine. So I'm going to cut this out and then use a rolled hem on the edges and then hopefully be able to get them on tonight. Now this time I chose to use scissors instead of a rotary blade because I was cutting through 4 layers of fabric, and I've learned the hard way that my personal rotary blade layer limit is 2. The sleeves are finished with a rolled hem and attached at some point after this rant. You know what I would not recommend at all, if you can help it? Sewing a large project that involves you to be on the floor and bumping up against a table when you're almost 9 months pregnant. It's not a good time. And like, you know, people can say like, oh, isn't it amazing what the female body can do? And yes it is. But you know what else? I miss my ankles. I miss my old ankles. I miss other parts of me that have changed over the last 36 weeks. That's not to say that I'm not thrilled to be having this baby, because I absolutely am. We wanted this for a while and I'm very grateful to be doing this. But that doesn't mean I don't miss my old ankles or moving without my legs cramping or constantly feeling tired or going to the bathroom. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of things that I've enjoyed about this. A lot. I've really enjoyed those kicks and wondering what kind of person he's gonna be. But that doesn't mean I'm not kind of ready for this kid to get out. Sorry for that little ramble. But you know what? People don't talk about that kind of stuff enough, right? It's all about the beauty and the wonder and how amazing everything is. And it is. But I still don't think it's wrong to acknowledge the less beautiful parts. Like the heartburn, which I have right now, which just started as I was talking. It's probably a sign I should stop talking. Alright. Finishing this. All that was left was the lace and the hem. The lace appliques were sewn on by hand. I did my best to hide the stitches within the design so they wouldn't be noticeable. The netting was then clipped away to make it look as if the applique was part of the chiffon layer of the dress itself. The hem was finished with a rolled hem the morning of the photo shoot. I had such a wonderful time during the maternity shoot. Looking back now, it feels surreal that I was ever that pregnant, so it's really special to have these clips and photos. Special thanks to my patrons on Patreon for making this video possible, including my first ever patron, Stephanie, closely followed by Lynette, Freddie, Kylie, Nicholas, Sierra, and petticoat tier patron, Stacy. And thank you to Nick for his coffee donation. Elaine, my photographer, brought along 2 other dresses for me to wear as well. I think a purple dress might have to be in my future. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!